Architecture. Thank you from this side of the room somewhere. What else?
Architecture.
Yeah, I heard architecture. One more from the back.
Hey.
It's a major. All right, marketing. I'm gonna come back to you all. All right, schools. What schools are you thinking of applying? USC, Pepperdine, Mission College, CSUN, San Diego, Long Beach. What about you, Logan? What's one school you looked into? UCLA. What about on this side? James? Cal State Fresno. Okay. Anybody going to Cal State Fullerton? On the field trip? All right, UC Irvine. All right. And last, what is a PIQ? Anybody know what a PIQ is? Personal inquiry question, personal insight question. So PIQ, yeah, it's the personal insight question. It's what UC applicants are required to answer during their applications. The UC school system is like the most prestigious state university system in the United States. Going to UC is well respected. There's 9 of them, everywhere from Berkeley, San Diego, UCLA, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, Davis, Riverside, UC Merced, and UC Irvine. Okay, so I've heard some of those already from the crowd. Some of you are interested in either applying and attending, or at least checking your options for these schools. And these PIQs are going to be like, they can't interview everybody, right? They can't talk to everybody. So these personal insight questions is going to be your opportunity to fill in the holes, right? Your application, right? What's your first name, your last name? What are your grades? You're going to put all this information in. And sometimes there's more to the story, or there's always more to the story than just your application. So your personal insight questions, that's your opportunity to let it be known if you face something, you went through a challenge, your grades don't match what you think you are capable of. If it's a school with low acceptance rate, these PIQs is really where you stand out and get yourself in the door, okay? So as juniors, your job this semester is really to just start drafting some, start thinking about them, because they are somewhat gonna change next year. But if you go through the process, it'll make next semester much smoother for you all, okay? So these are the different parts of the personal insight questions. You're gonna have 8 questions to answer from. You do not need to answer all 8. You have to choose 4 of the 8, okay? And these all go in your applications. Each response is limited to a maximum of 350 words, all right? Not characters. Some applications, if you do EOP or if you do some privates, they have character limits where each space, each time you hit a key, that counts towards the limit, okay? But these are words, so 350 words. You might look at that and say that's not a lot. You might look at that and say that is a lot. It's always better though to go over the word limit, because it's easier to cut and revise that way than it is to find something else to add to your PIQ. All right, and your choice, what questions you choose, that's completely up to you. There's 8 of them. Choose the 4 that are most relevant to you, that you think speak to you the most, and that are that highlight your experiences more than any of the other 4. Okay. You might have one. Your friend might have different questions. That's fine. But choose the 4 that speak to you. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, some of you might be sitting here saying, I'm not going to apply to any UC, okay? You're still going to have to do one. I'm sorry, because even if you're not applying to a UC, next year you're going to have to go through the process. You're going to have to write PIQs. If you're looking at private schools, Some of these essays, personal insight questions, are very close related or similar to some of those common apps, the private applications. If you're just planning on going into the workforce, some of these PIQs can like reflect the cover letter, which if you're applying for like serious jobs, they all ask for a cover letter, right? And a cover letter is very similar to the PIQ in that when you apply to a job, what do you usually give them? Your resume. Does your resume say everything about you? No. So your cover letter is that opportunity to tell them a little bit more about you, okay? So going through the process of writing a PIQ, as much as some of you might push back and say you don't want to do it, it's gonna be beneficial in the long run because you are gonna apply it one way or another to something later in your life, okay? So these are the prompts. There's 8 questions. All right, can somebody read the first one?
I'll read it.
Go ahead, Maya.
Describe an example of a leadership experience in which you possibly influence each other, help resolve dispute, or contributed to the group effort over time.
Okay. So describe an example of leadership experience. So if you are in leadership, if you take leadership in a class or take leadership in a club that you're in, this would be a good question for you to answer. And always with these questions, as we go through them, you want to talk about the experience that you have, but then always end with, and we'll keep reminding you this as you write and you turn in your drafts, you want to make sure you always end with, this is what I learned, now this is how I'm going to apply it at whatever school I'm in. That's what they want to hear, okay? So this one, don't just talk about your leadership experiences, but how you helped and contributed to a group, all right? The second one, somebody read the second one for me.
I got you.
Thank you.
Every person has a creative side, and it can be expressed in many ways: problem solving, original and innovative thinking, and artistically, to name a few. Describe how you express your creative side.
All right, so here they're giving you the wiggle room of creativity. It's not just artistically, but how you tackle problems, how you come up with ideas. So if this is something that you want to tackle, you want to make sure that you focus on like really highlighting that creativity of yours, whether it be artistically or problem solving or coming up with new ideas. All right. Number 3.
What would you say is your greatest talent or skill? How have you developed and demonstrated that talent over time?
Okay. So that one's pretty straightforward. Your greatest talent, your skill. And again, sometimes you get 350 is not a lot. And some of you are going to start writing and you're going to be really moved by the question and want to write a lot. Really focus to what the question's asking you and answer all of it. If you focus all of this on what's your greatest talent or skill, the admission officer is going to look at it and say, oh yeah, that's nice, but what did you not do? You didn't answer the second part of the question, okay? How have you developed and demonstrated that talent over time? Yeah. And a lot of times we put I even would put it like being empathetic, being kind. Like those aren't the skills or the talents that they're looking for, okay? You got to really dig deep and find that one talent or skill that you have. All right? And like if you write about being kind and all that, it can be very beautiful, really beautifully written. But we're gonna tell you to rewrite it, and next year, Mr. Man, Ms. Natureman, or Ms. Lee, they're gonna also tell you to rewrite it. Okay. All right. Can somebody read number 4, maybe from this side?
Describe how you've taken advantage of a significant educational opportunity or work to overcome an educational barrier you face.
Okay, so this is your opportunity to talk about maybe your grades don't reflect what you like. You can talk about that here. And for these, like the ones that describe a significant educational opportunity or overcame an educational barrier. Can somebody read number 5? Because what I'm about to say goes with 5 too. Go ahead, Michelle. I see you wanting to read.
Describe the most significant challenge you face and the steps you've taken to overcome this challenge. How has the challenge affected your academic achievements?
Okay, so educational barrier challenges. What they don't want to see is they don't want to see you trauma dump. Okay, like just explain everything. Oh my God, it was the worst year of my life, and this happened, and then I cried for these many days, and then this happened also that made it even worse. There's space for that, but you have to have like what we call a resolution. Okay, you went through this trauma, you went through this challenge, or through this educational barrier. How did you come on the other side stronger? Or what did you learn that you're gonna apply to in yourself in the future? So those are the things they're looking for. Okay. 6. Oh, James. Any movement? I'm looking at a hand. So James.
Think about an academic subject that inspires you. Describe how you furthered this interest inside and or outside the class.
Okay. So this is where you all can talk about history, AP US history, and no other classes. Okay. I'm just kidding. So what's that class that inspires you? Explain why. Is it math? Is it science? Is it history? English? All right. Is it algebra 2? And how have you furthered that interest? This one would be good if it's a class that's connected to your major. You can talk about how that class helped open your eyes to this major and how you're gonna apply these things to the major that you're applying to. That would be a good outline to have for that question. All right, 7. Sarai, go ahead and read 7.
I couldn't see it.
Thank you.
What have you done to make your schools the community able to give?
Okay, pretty straightforward. School or community, it doesn't have to be just school, it can be your community, community service, things you've done outside of school, that can all go there. And then number 8, last one. Yeah, go ahead.
Beyond what has already been shared in your application, what do you believe makes you a strong candidate for admission to the University of California?
Okay, so this is where you can write about anything you like. Based on the brag sheets, the last question was, is there anything that your counselor does not know about you? Or is there anything that you want to tell your teacher that they do not know about you? A lot of you ask me, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to say. If that's what you feel for this question, then don't write that question. Again, you only have to pick 4. You don't have to do all 8, all right? But that's your opportunity to talk about things that you may not have talked about. And also what you don't want to do is, if you've talked about one thing in one PIQ, that's it. You can't talk about it again in another PIQ. They want to know as much about you as you can give them. So don't waste PIQs by talking about, let's say, theater in one, and then you talk about theater in another one, and then theater in a third, okay? So pick different things, different topics for each question. So here are some tips, and I have some more. I asked some seniors today that were hanging out in my classroom. First off is you want to start early, okay? You're gonna start now with one, right? If things go to plan, you'll have a second draft by the time you're seniors, but you're definitely gonna have one. And you wanna start early because you're gonna have them be revised. You're gonna have somebody read them, and it's gonna be anywhere from 5 to 8 times that people are gonna kind of ask you to rewrite it. Okay, so you want to give yourself time to write, edit, and rewrite. Use I statements. This essay is about you, so keep the focus on you. I went through this. I did this. I remember the time that I went to this, okay? Keep it professional, use proper grammar, spelling, word choice, always check, spell check. Use all 350 words. Some of us might be like, I'm at 250, that's all I can say. You want to use as many words as you can and go to 350, 349, but use as much as you can because this is again the opportunity for you to tell them about you, okay? Let others read it. That's gonna be hard, but you wanna let other people read it, but not too many people. Because if I write something and then I give it to a friend to read it and give me feedback, and then I give it to a teacher to give me feedback, and then I give it to another teacher to give me feedback, and then somebody else, the more feedback you get, the less and less it doesn't sound like you anymore. It's gonna start sounding like Lugo, like Basu, Conan, like your friend, right? So let others read it, but not too many. And you can also tell people like, hey, can you read it, but just for grammar, like, did I make any spelling mistakes, right? If you want people to read it. Or if you see them struggling with theirs, you can have somebody read yours. But in terms of just like feedback, you don't want to take feedback from everybody because it's going to be too many words, too many people. It's going to stop sounding like you. This is not a school essay, and this is where it might be difficult for some of you. You have to make it as personal as possible. This is about you, and it's not about a topic or an assignment that you've covered in any class, okay? So again, things to avoid: no trauma dumping, like I said. Do not go over the word count. You will get cut off after 350 words. That's in the actual one, but as you draft, it's okay to go over because again, like I said, it's easier to remove than add, okay? Don't fake it. Do not choose a question because they sound more important than the others. All questions are equal. Choose the ones that you can truly answer. If you're reading questions and you're like, ooh, that one sounds like they really want to hear about that. They don't. They put all the questions there and gave you options for a reason. They're all the same. They look at them the same. Not one is more important than the other. Again, don't lose your voice. Like I said, do not give it to more than one or two people maybe. You do not want to lose your voice and avoid redundancy. If you already wrote one PIQ about a topic, soccer, baseball, volleyball, find a different topic for the other PIQ. Some other feedback, Kaden and Kim said, do not procrastinate. Not gonna say who, but one of them did it the very last day and stressing out. Be ready to revise it. Understand the prompt. Make sure you read the whole prompt, okay? And answer every question. No trauma dump, no AI. Camila said to go to the workshops that are provided. As we move forward, you're gonna get opportunities to go to workshops. Senior year, you're gonna have workshops to help you write the PIQs. Take advantage of that. Don't make it harder than it is. I think that was Joanna Jessica. Emily said just write. It's okay to go over the limit. And it says, stay true to who you are. Don't change who you are. Make it sound like you, okay? Sometimes we get caught up in making it sound fancy and using words that we don't normally use. Just be you, okay? These are some helpful resources. We'll post them on our Schoologies. This slide deck is on the Schoology, so you can go back and look at it. And these are kind of like the next steps. Today, you got introduced to the PIQ. You're gonna maybe start picking questions, start your drafts. Your first draft is gonna be due March 9th. So that gives you pretty much all of February to write one PIQ. We might have a PIQ workshop on May. So that's when, after seniors have received their applications and their acceptances, the peer leaders meet with all the juniors in the NPR, and you start drafting PIQs or EOPs. That's in May, and then August of senior year, have your completed drafts, okay? Because again, you're gonna be revising them over and over again, and then if some of you are doing Common Apps, like, you're gonna be writing easily north of 20 essays, okay, about you. And there's things that you're gonna be able to use here and there, but each private university sometimes has a different question. So if that's where you're headed, if that's what you're thinking, start early. EOP is also another opportunity. So EOP is for Cal States. So sometimes a Cal State might tell you no, you're not accepted. EOP can bypass that and say, no, we really want this student because of all the things that they told us in these, they're not PIQs, they're EOP questions, but essentially the same thing. We want this student because all the things that they told us in their EOP responses. So I know you told them no, but we're actually gonna accept them, and they're gonna come to our school, and they also have a lot of like services, like academic advisement, tutoring, and all that, okay? Any questions?
Everyone's struck silent with awe.